So today we're going to be looking at the best attackers in FC25. We've got a lot to go through and we've got to pick very sporadically at times because there is going to be a lot of up and downs depending on who you prefer. For instance, for me, someone like a Peter Crouch would be considered at the bottom because naturally he just isn't that player. He's a nostalgic merchant on the very start of the game. Once we start getting into the end of the game and he gets some 95, 96 Crouch with a 5-5, boosted stats, fair enough. You can have your little work with him, he does well, but by the end of the game, he's in nobody's team. Let's be real here, and we've got a lot of cards to really point in here. I think Kanu would be considered the same as well. Again, just a card that's just there for nostalgic value, is kind of just an extra hero to throw into a pack. But then we look at some of the big boys. We've got, like I say, a lot to go through. If we was to go for the top of the top, if we're looking at number ones, we're looking at the bottom tier here. We're looking at someone like, for instance, an Mbappe or Haaland or anybody of that sort of caliber. So, for instance, someone like R9. He's obviously going to be in the top of the top. Now, we're not trying to put everybody in S+, so it's going to be for a very select few that literally cannot be argued. And most definitely there is a few, but there is going to be only a set list that you'll go through here.
If you need coins in FC25, lootbar.gg has you covered. They are the cheapest trading platform on the game, 8 to 10% cheaper than any others, 8% off if you use the code JT11 at the end at checkout, plus you get 5% extra on coins. With the fastest delivery system going, used by many FC25 creators such as Zorky, Manny Plus, and even pro owners. So if you need any coins, head over to lootbar.gg, make sure JT11's in the promo code, and hopefully you enjoy.
And if we was looking at the next one, in terms of gold cards, I don't think many are beating Mbappe. He was the same last year, he's the same this year. He's going to be at the end game tier from the get-go because that is just how he's built in this game. He's the best gold striker. Arguably, he is the best gold card you could physically get. Price and actual effectiveness in the game. But this year, I do think even if you look at the lower end, like we look at someone like Chiesa, very, very good card. But the question is he as good as one of the icons at this point? Because that's the big thing with the gold cards. Right now, someone like a Rashford is very good in-game, but give it a month and an 81 Rashford is just non-existent. In terms of evolution, is going to be fantastic. So I think with the likes of a Rashford, I'd put him at like an A+ to start with. And again, like the S+, we don't want to go too crazy on him for kind of going up here and putting loads in the S. So I would probably go into more of an A. And then I'd go Chiesa into an A+, because then we've got to have the conversation when we look at icon wingers like Bale. I would say he's absolutely up there, but I don't know if I'd quite go S+ again. We're looking at quite a few of these icons, and they're most definitely very, very good for right now, but will very much go down very quickly. Same with someone like Dembele. He's obviously got himself a lot of stats across the board, and if you do look at the attackers, we've got huge prices on the go for them. If we go into attackers, if we go by price, we're going to go back up again. You look at R9 at 13.8, 6.8. You got Mbappe at 4, Ginola at 3. And even Bale, to be fair, at 3 as well. He's going to be the argument that we'll have. Obviously, Eto'o at 2.3, a good old Vinny at 2, as well as then a 2.8. I still don't think, even at this point, a Vinny is an S+, because he's going to get better, and naturally, he's just very good at the moment. I don't know if I'd quite say he's in a category where you could keep him for an endgame. Hullet, Cruyff, R9, they could all stay exactly the same, and they would be absolutely S+ for at least a good 4 or 5 months. At the minimum, R9 practically is endgame until literally the very end. The only thing that takes R9 away is another R9 card. So it is that sort of level for the S+. Same with the Mbappe. You could go with the gold card until team of the season with ease. Most of the time we get a player of the month. Everybody does the player of the month. That card can go till team of the season easily as well. So if we start putting in a few of these, obviously I've gone with Bale into the S. We then look at someone like a Barnes. I think for right now, I'd probably go into more of an A+. He is going to be coming down very quickly. And obviously the icon prices at the moment are going to be so up and down purely on the fact that they are still very hard to get until we get the first champs rewards, because we do get now, if you get 15 wins, you'll get an icon untradeable pack, and if you get, I think it's the next 3 tiers down, so like I think it's like 14 or 13 wins, 12, 11, 10, and then I think 9 is a max hero pack, so like an 86 max. You can get hero packs out of it. Obviously, we look at the likes of Cahill. Again, pretty much just there, I'd say. I'd go for someone like him in towards an A. Beasley, I'd go the same as well. Keane, I think for right now, could definitely push himself into an A+, and would slowly come down. Same as someone like an Isaac, I think for right now he's doing alright. I'd be looking at an A+. I'm trying to make the S more of a kind of top variety pack here. We look at someone like a Yamal, personally one that I have got very, very good on the pitch, but only for right now. I don't personally think he's absolutely up in the top category, and this will become more apparent as we get towards the end of it, because most definitely there's a lot of players. Berbatov unfortunately just doesn't have the game style, same as Ollie. They really are that kind of inclined. I'd say Kolo Muani, as much as he is a very specific player, tall, very fast, he's got that build on him. I think for me, he could go 1 up and just be there, but he's going to come very, very quick down. Now, one that has done really well there in that position is Nunez. Now, I don't know if that's purely on the fact that he's got a lot of physical as well. I think it's the one thing Kolo Muani does miss. And also no Playstyle Plus. It's going to be a big factor when we look at some of these cards, because when you look at the likes of a Chiesa, for instance, it's got the skills, got the stats, got the everything, bar from a Playstyle Plus. And it's not everything at the start, because if you've not got a Playstyle Plus on a card, the likely chance is most people don't either. So it's kind of an even playing field. But if you do get a Playstyle Plus, you noticed how good that truly is to have that 1 over. It's hence why a lot of people buy a lot of cards very, very easy, very, very early. We got Watkins. I'd go into more of an A. I'd go his 87, 1 more up. I think it's a decent card. He's obviously got a good amount of pace, some decent shooting. Just kind of, it's flexing around there. We'll be seeing once we get the upgrades from him where he's at from there. Which, to be fair, does lead us on to some Champions League. So let's have a look at the squad in itself. Obviously, Watkins, we've got him in the A+. We've got an Alvarez at 1 million. We've got Doku at 928 now as well. Diani, 620. Beautiful card. If we go a bit further down, we've got Sesko at 100. Very similar to Watkins. Most definitely up there with the best of them. But the big thing that Sesko has, 4-4 controlled lengthy, I believe he is. Somewhere. Is it going to tell me? Oh, it's over here. Controlled lengthy if you go for one of these. That's a solid starter card that you can get if you can get in and behind. And then you've got Lang, 86 rated, 26k, very much fodder if anything. And then obviously we've got Keane as well, more of that starting striker with the 3-3. So we're kind of going with them. Also Jota is there as well. I'd go Jota into that A+. I'd go Sesko there. Lang would more than likely kind of come into this A. We'd then look a bit further down for Diani. I've made it really difficult now to get into that S. To be fair, we will have a look at that. Doku. See, I'm a big fan of him in game, and I do like his stats. He's got the rapid plus. You know what? He has got the rapid plus. That for me is going to put him that 1 bit ahead. Pinner will go into the A, and then where's the other Champions League? We've got Alvarez. Incredible, definitely an S striker at the moment. Taorum as a lovely player of the month, in fact. Him and Danjuma, very, very good for what they can give you. I'd say a very humble A for right now, doing very well. I'd say the same for Keane. The 3-3 is going to hold him back slightly, and I think that's all the Champions League cards at the moment, but we have got a massive, massive week coming with the Team 2. Virgil's already announced. I'm pretty sure... Who else did we have? We had a big one. Was it? It weren't Valverde. Arsenal's got one. Havertz, I think. But there's quite a few top end on Havertz, of course. But Virgil van Dijk, at the very minimum, is coming during Team 2. So that's going to be a massive, massive card coming in. We've got our Waran. I still think he puts himself up there. Our Jabba's going to be kind of very much with the Beasley and Cahill. It's kind of okay to start with. And then we drop off a little bit. If we was to go and have a look at a few of the attackers, though, for our heroes, just because... when you've got them all in a line here, it's very hard to see the difference of them. But we got the attackers. If we go by price order, obviously Janola's going to be up there with one of the best. He is obviously a 5/5 as well, so I don't think there's any question really to put him any other than an S+. Very, very good card nonetheless. Then you've got Hazard. Technical plus, like Ginola, he's got himself the 4/4, so a little bit less. Di Natale, obviously one of the better, if not the best striker in the hero category at the moment. You got Futra, we got Voler, Alwaran obviously. Then we've got a brand new Roberto coming in, looks pretty decent. He's got the 5-star weak foot, but it will be interesting as we progress with him. Do we see that 5-star really take him to that next level? And also can play left back, centre mid, and left wing. A whole host of positions for him. Then Tevez, Govu, Forlan, Keane, Kuehl, Smolarek. Just a long list of cards. But as you go further down, you can kind of understand where we're going with these. They're very much specific players. Like you look at someone like a Gully, he's coming in at 122, and it's under Ollie, of course. Obviously, Ollie's got the finesse shot plus. To be fair, did miss that one out, so I probably would bump Ollie up one more for that. And it's only because, to start with, that's going to be fantastic. Same with a lot of them. We look at like the likes of the McManaman. The pace is there, but it's most definitely going to come down quite quickly. Like Rashford, for right now, very, very good because it's a brand new game, 81 rated, still coming in a chunk of change because of the evolutions, and then once they're gone, he's going to be gone down even more. Same with Kolomuani, same with Watkins, Nunez will end up coming down, and that's progression of the game. So I'm trying not to just go straight into absolutely everybody, but if we're going to flash fire these heroes, Lundberg has been awful recently. Harry Kuehl, McManaman, I thought I put him in there already. I'd say Roberto, we gave him a go. The weak foot is fantastic, but he is a little bit on that kind of no skill zone, which can be slightly off-putting. Brolin, Milito, and also Forlan. And where's the other one? We've got Enzo, Smolarek, and Govu. I would put in the one above. It was the exact same last year. We've used all three, and they're literally the same. As a striker right now, brilliant, but they need an upgrade soon. It is mainly the skill move weak foot that needs upgraded, and this year it is more apparent than ever. I'd say Joe Cole puts himself into the A+. Hazard for me would go into an S. We then have the likes of Futra. I'd go in an A+. Gomez, I'd go in the A. Big, strong striker. Tevez would go into the S. And then we have got Sasic as the new striker for the women. Again with the aerial plus, but being 5'4", she was kind of just more that nippy player going around, more so than anywhere. And then we've got Villali, Voler. As much as I'd love to go Voler into that top category, I think he's very, very good, but a Playstyle Plus would be massive for him. Same with Morientes, and then Papin would come one down for me, which leaves Di Natale. As much as I do think Di Natale would be an easy S+ category card, I think with the strikers that we're going to go against, there will be at least 6 to 7 strikers that would be above him, in my opinion, if money was not an option. So I would have to kind of go one down for him. Then if we kind of go through a few of the icons, obviously we look at Ronaldinho, we look at Pele, Cruyff, Puskás. They're all absolutely top cards. Like there's no arguments. If you had Pele at this point in the game, you're not selling him for a long time. Like he's going to be more than capable for the longest amount of times. Eusebio goes up in there. Obviously Cruyff does as well. Mia Hamm obviously goes in there, which I think is predominantly the icon team we already know. Everybody else, I think, would have a question. Henry's obviously incredible. I just wouldn't. I think I would still go with predominantly all of the strikers up there over R9 at the moment, which then leaves us to the rest of the icons. Obviously, we look at someone like a Garrincha. I think most of them kind of top tier icons, the Etos, the Henrys, the Drogbas, they are all going to go into the S. And this is where you kind of ask the question, and it's why tier list to start with. Normally I'll try and stick with just the golds, but I have seen a lot of icons, I've seen a lot of heroes, I've seen a lot of Alvarez's as well. Everybody's got a whole host of cards at the moment, so I try and implement them now, but knowing that if you had the choice between like an Isaac or an Eto or a Nunez or a Drogba, I know who you're choosing every single time. And let's not be silly about it. Obviously, Haaland will put him into the S. I think both cards would still go there. I don't know if I would even say the Player of the Month is majorly worth it, in my opinion, just because the amount of coins that you've got to spend, or fodder cards, is going to be a little bit ridiculous. Then we have the likes of Dalglish, quite an easy one. We have Jarzinho, again. Other strikers, good. I suppose Gerd Muller. Most of the icon strikers would actually have to be in here. Even then, Rivaldo as well. Like, the only thing I would say with like Dembele and Chiesa, why I would choose them over Rivaldo, is that 2-star weak foot. It's just not enough, even on game one. It's just truly not. But then we look at like the Ian Rushes. I mean, in terms of strikers, I'd still choose him over a Watkins. Like, he's got himself a Player Star Plus. The stats are most definitely not that different. So most of the icons are going to be just one up from the heroes, really. Luis Hernandez, Larson, some of them, yes, will kind of be up and down, and it's why we've kind of gone. And I think I've done a service with this, to be honest. Pires, though, as a winger, I'd choose Joe Cole over him, trying to go for just wingers in general. Who else have we got? So we got Yamal. To be fair, yeah, I'd probably go one down. Suker, I'd definitely go here. Ian Wright, I wouldn't go into the S. Kluivert, Kluivert wasn't great. You know what? Kluivert will go one down. Torres is an obvious one there, to be fair. Zola would be an A. Ooh, Zola and Del P. They would be very close in stature, but would I go in an S? I'd probably go Del P one up. I'd keep Zola there for the moment. Crespo, yeah, Crespo just for now. Beckham would go just there for now, but again, he's kind of more centre mid, if anything. Van Persie, it just get into that S, and I think that's been very lenient for him. Closer, big striker, he's got to be better than Colomuani, surely. Rooney would go an A+. Again, he's one of them strikers that definitely needs an upgrade straight off the bat. I don't know why, he's just the way he is in this. Nedved, Owen, obviously, Shevchenko, Lineker, Kelly Smith. To be fair, she isn't terrible. Again, very, very much like a Van Persie, just in that S at the moment. Hugo Sanchez, Van Nistelrooy, he's going to go down very quickly. Pichion, definitely. Then we've got Alan Shearer could join the rest of the England lot, to be honest. Bergkamp will do the same. And then I think pretty much the rest of them, obviously Stoichkov would go to the top. Georgie Best would as well. We then look at the brand new left mid, obvious. Prince, yeah, should go in the A. Van Basten would do the same. Cantona would go up, and Figo would go up. Figo is definitely underrated in a lot of this, to be honest. Which leads us to the gold cards, which is a fair amount. If we was kind of choosing the bog standards, I don't know if any would actually go in B+. I think Coman would be like Rashford. At the moment, he's got the Rapid Plus. It's one up on everybody, so it's a big thing to have. If we've got Diaz, Victor, I'd say, would be one up. James would be definitely one up. And I think then Swanson, Diani, there's very few gold cards where I'm like, they are not necessarily. To be fair, maybe Osherman too. He's got big rating, but realistically, he's kind of just underneath a lot of people, in my opinion. Diaz obviously goes up in here. I'd say his inform is very, very close going into that S. Victor is an obvious A+. Kvaratskhelia, easy one there. Definitely a little bit lower for his gold card, and I know it's only one upgrade, but it does make a difference. Alvarez would be an easy A+. Nico Williams would be there as well, seeing as I chose him. Openda, yep, I'd say there's going to be a lot of an A+, I can tell. Oshala's there. Yeah, Pulisic would be kind of that gold card standard at this point. Rafinha, I don't really rate him massively. I like his 86. I think it's a very good upgrade. Nice double upgrade for his inform, but his pricing is just mental. Like, I think when we actually look at him, in terms of the card that he is, if we could go to him, he's 285 or he's 83,000. Like, I know he's Barcelona, he's Brazilian, he's going to have great links, but 83,000 when 91 pays 79. I mean, he's good, he's got the 4-4, fair enough, but there is so many gold wingers that you could go for that are of that sort of nature, really. Like, we look through, go versions, go into golds. If he was to just go by pricing alone, he's coming in just a bit further down. So like Diane's there at 80. We've obviously got Neymar at 120. Didn't really like him that much, to be honest. I thought he was good, but he definitely wasn't Neymar. But like Diaz, 66. And I know, well, Diaz can play both, to be fair to him. We go down, Saka at 44. Again, maybe pace-wise, but you've got to then consider the dribbling, the passing, the shooting is going to be better. Messi at 34, granted, pace is a little bit lower. It's fair enough. We look at Doku at 32,000. He's very much the same. He's got great pace. Shooting's a bit lacking. Passing's a bit lacking. He's obviously not got the 4-4, but then he's got the dribbling. We look at Rodman. Very similar. 4-4 with 23,000. I think there's some players that are just massively overhyped at this point. And a lot of these gold cards would chill in this kind of A+ era because they're not necessarily going to go up into this category where you've got to be like the best of the best. We're looking more towards your Vinnies. We're looking at your Salas. Like, obviously, Vinny would go up in there in both versions. He's very, very good, but like I said, he wouldn't be in that S+ with the likes of Mbappe. I think Son's in form puts himself in that S, but I'd say the gold card would stick just in a very nice top A+. And then you've got to ask the questions of like a Griezmann. Would you take him over a Drogba, a Butra, a Dalglish? I don't think you would. At this point, I don't think you would. Neymar is solidly in that A+. Adama will be fantastic with that one. Leao obviously puts himself in here. Ronaldo's fantastic in this game as well. The pace is a big deal, but get him in early because he's going to have evolutions to increase that pace, but he's got a fantastic power shot on him as well. Sane would put himself in here. James would. Rodrigo would be a very interesting one because I do think he's a lot better than Rafinha. He's obviously got a little bit more shooting. He's obviously got the 4-4 as well. It's coming in at 158, so he is a bit expensive, but I'd possibly say he would be more towards here rather than over a Vinny up in the top. Dembele, though, definitely in that S. Dembele is fantastic in this game. Where did I just drop him? He is unreal with an inform if you can get him. Saka, definitely into the A+. We keep going down. I wonder if we can we pin? There we go. That's much easier. Big Boy Benz lost it all this year, definitely. Muriel, very much the same. Peugeot's got that rapid plus. Works to an absolute treat. Swanson, Diane. I personally don't like Lewandowski in the game. Let me know if you're different. I just don't think he's as good as like the Kane-esque type striker because they're both similar builds. They're a hold-up striker. Kane just seems to do it better with less pace considerably. So let me know your thoughts on that. It might just be a me thing. And then we prove into a lot of the ends. So we got Messi. Even his 89, like the 89's got a little bit more better pace on him. Obviously, we've gone from 79 to 81, so it's not a great deal, but it's a little bit more. And I didn't think I'd see the year where Messi is not in an S+ straight off the gate. And to be honest, that you can get an inform Messi for 181,000. I don't think Footy's Messi at the end of the game where there's no value comes in that low. We then have Return, we have Mead, very good players, Martinez, Salah. I liked Salah. I thought he was a very, very good card. Would I go into the S? It's got the finesse. I think for right now, he probably does put himself up there. Hansen obviously goes up there. Smith is undeniably incredible. And then finally, we have got our girl, Sammy Kerr. Now, she's obviously 90 rated as a striker, 118k. She's definitely a little bit less frightening than last year, but the finesse shot plus is fantastic. I'd possibly be looking, if I've got Griezmann in here, I'd have to go with her in here as well. So that is going to be the list for everybody. Let me know down below what you think about it. Make sure you do like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.